Total transformation. Ferrari 250 GTO restoration. This is not just a car. This is a legend that once ruled the racetracks of the world. A machine born from passion, speed, and uncompromising craftsmanship. The Ferrari 250 GTO. For decades, it sat in silence. Dust settled on its curves. Time slowly erased its roar. But today, we begin the journey to bring it back to life. When the doors finally opened, the Ferrari appeared exactly as history left it. Faded paint, oxidized aluminum, the unmistakable shape still strong beneath years of neglect. Every scratch told a story. Every dent carried a memory of speed, competition, and glory. Before a single tool touched the car, we stopped. We observed, because restoring a Ferrari 250 GTO is not about changing it. It is about respecting everything it once was. The first step was inspection, careful, patient, and deliberate. The body panels were examined inch by inch under soft light. Signs of corrosion were noted. Old racing repairs were documented, not erased. The chassis number was verified. Engine stamps were checked. This car's identity had to be protected at all costs. Every detail was photographed, every angle recorded. Panel gaps, weld marks, interior stitching, paint thickness. Nothing was ignored, because once the restoration begins, there is no turning back. Disassembly came next, slow and methodical. The aluminum body panels were removed one by one, using specialized tools to prevent distortion. Doors, hood, and rear panels were lifted away from the steel tubular frame. The Ferrari was gently stripped down to its bones. Inside the cabin, time had frozen everything in place. The leather seats were cracked but original. The gauges still carried their factory markings. Even the wiring, fragile and aged, was preserved for reference. Nothing was thrown away. Every component was labeled, cataloged, and stored with care. Then came the heart of the legend, the Colombo V12 engine. As it was removed from the chassis, silence filled the workshop. This engine once screamed down straights at full throttle. Now it rested, waiting for rebirth. The teardown was meticulous. Cylinder heads were removed, pistons inspected, crankshaft tolerances measured to the micron. Valve seats examined for wear. Original components were saved wherever possible. When replacement was unavoidable, parts were custom machined to exact Ferrari specifications. The triple Weber carburetors were disassembled piece by piece. Decades of residue were cleaned away. Every jet, float, and passage restored to factory condition. This was not modernization. This was resurrection. The gearbox followed. Each gear inspected for wear. Synchromesh rings measured. Bearings replaced only when absolutely necessary. The differential was rebuilt to its original racing ratios, ensuring the Ferrari would behave exactly as it did in its prime. Attention then turned to the chassis. Mounted on a precision jig, the tubular steel frame was checked for alignment. Years of racing had left their mark. Tiny cracks near suspension mounts were repaired using period-correct welding techniques. Modern shortcuts were avoided. The soul of the car demanded authenticity. Suspension components were restored next. Control arms cleaned and crack-tested. Bushings replaced with materials matching the original composition. Shock absorbers rebuilt internally to replicate factory damping. The steering box was adjusted by hand, preserving the raw feedback that defined the driving experience. The braking system was completely overhauled. Original calipers restored, brake lines fabricated to match original routing. This Ferrari would stop the way it was designed to, not with modern assistance, but with mechanical precision. Then came one of the most delicate stages of all, the aluminum body. Each panel was worked by hand. Dents were gently massaged out using traditional tools. Corroded sections were cut away and replaced with hand-formed aluminum patches. Welds were blended until invisible. No fillers, no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Slowly, the iconic shape of the Ferrari 250 GTO returned. The curves flowed once again. The stance became aggressive. The body looked alive. Paint preparation was done entirely by hand. The original color, confirmed through historical records, was mixed precisely. Layer by layer, the paint was applied. Thin coats, careful curing. Hand polishing until the surface reflected light with depth and warmth, not shine, but soul. Inside the cabin, restoration continued with equal respect. Original leather was preserved whenever possible. When replacement was necessary, hides were dyed to match original tones. Seats were restitched following factory patterns. Gauges were rebuilt internally, retaining their original faces and needles. The electrical system was reconstructed using cloth-wrapped wiring, modern safety hidden beneath period-correct materials. Every circuit tested, every connection verified. Finally, reassembly began. This stage required patience above all else. The engine returned to the chassis. Suspension components followed. Brakes, steering, and drivetrain were installed in perfect sequence. Body panels were refitted and aligned. Panel gaps adjusted millimeter by millimeter. Then came the moment everyone waits for. The first engine start. Fluids were checked. Ignition timing set conservatively. The engine was primed. Silence filled the workshop. And then the V12 came to life. Not screaming, not rushing, just breathing. The sound was mechanical, raw, unmistakably Ferrari. As temperatures stabilized, the idle smoothed. The engine remembered who it was. Carburetors were tuned by ear and feel. Exhaust notes sharpened. Throttle response became instant. Road testing followed. Slow at first, careful. Every vibration analyzed. Every sound evaluated. Suspension geometry adjusted. Brake bias refined. Engine tuning perfected. With each drive, the Ferrari became more confident, more alive, more complete. The final inspection was thorough. Every system checked, every detail reviewed, documentation compiled. History preserved. What once sat silent is now reborn, not as a modern imitation, not as a modified machine, but as a true Ferrari 250 GTO, faithful to its past, ready for the future. This restoration was not about perfection. It was about respect. Respect for craftsmanship, respect for racing heritage, respect for one of the greatest cars ever built. And now the legend drives again.